transition on Atlantic Television Network. Good morning. My name is Moses Ben. In compliance with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Osman Akali Baba, on the total ban on the use of police spy number plates by vehicle owners across the Federation, the Commissioner of Police Rivers State Police Command, Friday Boka, has directed the Department of Operations, area commanders, divisional police officers, and tactical team commanders to professionally enforce the ban and ensure that all police spy number plates currently in use in the state, whether authorized or otherwise, were confiscated with immediate effect. He enjoined law-abiding citizens who were in possession of such number plates to submit same to police headquarters or the nearest police formation. A statement by the command's police public relations officer, DSP Grace Iringe Koko, and made available to journalists in Port Harcourt yesterday, said the Commissioner of Police further ordered police officers and other sister security agencies attached to VIPs who use spy number plates in the state must ensure compliance with the IGP's order. According to the statement, the CP also appealed for continuous support and cooperation of all and sundry in this regard, as the order was geared towards strengthening security of the state and the nation at large. The CP equally tasked police officers to shun human rights violation, extortion, and other unethical conduct during the operation, as the task force team has been constituted and mandated to go around the 23 local government areas of the state to monitor compliance. The victory of Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as the governor-elect of Osun State has been described as one achieved with lies and propaganda. This was stated by Ismail Omebidan, the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, while featuring on a radio current affairs program on Tuesday. Omebidan insisted that the Osun PDP and the governor-elect had deceived the Osun electorate to gain their votes with propaganda. According to Omebidan, despite the minus allocation from the federal government received by Oyetola-led government in previous month, civil servants still receive their salary, including pensioners. In his words, they lied to the civil servants about issues relating to pensions and unpaid salaries. Speaking on his principle conceding defeat, Omebidan noted that they were still studying the outcome of the election and would come out with their stand in an appropriate time. Recall that Adeleke defeated the incumbent governor, Oyetola, by scoring 403,371 votes, while the latter had 375,027 votes. Are Ona Kakonfo of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Adams, has again deployed Nigerians' insecurity, declaring that Yorubas are ready to defend themselves against terrorists. The traditional leader warned gunmen to stop testing the will of the region and the indigenes to prevent additional atrocities. Adams said the Southwest Security Stakeholders Group, comprising the Oodua People's Congress and others, will henceforth resist attacks. The area spoke on Tuesday during a visit to the Olowo of our kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Ajibade Ogunoye. In a statement by his spokesman Kehinde Aderemi, Adams assured that efforts were underway to forestall a repeat of the June 5 massacre. More than 40 worshippers died after gunmen opened fire at the St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State. The federal government announced that the Islamic State's West African province, ISWAP, was responsible. Adams said the incident remained the most devastating experience of terrorism in Yoruba modern history. The Academic Staff Union of Universities on Tuesday said it has no plan to suspend its ongoing strike, but to end it permanently. It, however, said such can only happen when all demands have been met. The union's president, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, at a press conference in Abuja, said that ASU can only end strike when all their demands have been met. While appreciating efforts of some stakeholders on the strike, Osodeke, however, said it is not over until it is over. On media reports that the federal government plans to increase salaries of ASU members by 100%, Osodeke said that ASU is not aware of new agreement, saying if the government wants to negotiate with us, they know the right channel. Earlier in an interview with our correspondent, Osodeke said the union had yet to receive any call or invitation from the government since it had the last meeting with Professor Nimi Briggs' renegotiation committee on June 16, 2022. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria on Tuesday again raised the monetary policy rate from 13% to 14%. This came barely 2 months after the MPC, during its bi-monthly meeting in May, raised the benchmark interest rate from 11.5% to 13%. The interest rate hike came barely 1 week after the National Bureau of Statistics put its June inflation figure for the economy at 18.6%, the highest in 5 years. Inflation had hit 17.71% in May 2022. The MPC had left the MPR unchanged for over 2 years. However, crippling inflation, worsening purchasing power, and their attendant effects on the economy appear to have forced the CBN to effect policy changes. Speaking shortly after a 2-day MPC meeting that started on Monday, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, argued that a new rate hike was necessary to put the economy on track. Emefiele, who spoke in Lagos, said the MPC noted with concern the continued aggressive movement in inflation even after the rate hike at its last meeting. He expressed the committee's unrelenting resolve to restore price stability while providing the necessary support to strengthen the fragile recovery. The Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Command, CP Echeng Echeng, has presented a check of 9.1 million naira to 15 families of deceased policemen attached to the command. Echeng presented the check on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Osman Akali, on Tuesday. He said the gesture was an initiative of the IGP aimed at giving succor to the family of policemen who died in active service. He noted that in the last 3 months, the command had received similar checks from the police boss, and they were presented to the beneficiaries. These were contained in a statement made available to journalists on Tuesday by the state police spokesman, Tochukwu Ikenga. We are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break. Welcome back. The Director of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, wants Nigeria and Africa to strengthen their manufacturing capacities in order to produce vaccines. Okonjo-Iweala said this during her visit to the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Miriam Katagum, in Abuja as a follow-up to the 12th WTO Ministerial Conference that took place in Geneva, Switzerland. Okonjo-Iweala said the events of COVID-19 lockdown where developed countries placed restrictions on vaccines going to developing nations should serve as an eye-opener to all. She noted that Africa imported 99% of its vaccines and 95% of pharmaceutical products, stressing that this was not good enough. She further said that the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights agreement had made provisions for any country with capacity to override patent rights and manufacture COVID-19 vaccine, urging Nigeria to rise up to the occasion. A document displaying the cost of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, in various regions of Nigeria is causing confusion among PMS consumers as the federal government remained mute about the matter on Tuesday. Although some operators in the downstream oil sector alleged that the fuel prices were approved by government, many others debunked the allegation on the grounds that the document had yet to be confirmed officially. Oil marketers, however, told our correspondent that the federal government might be using the document to test the reaction of the public as touching an official hike in petrol price. The document entitled PMS Pump Price Adjustment described the government-approved 165 naira per litre price of petrol as old price, as it went further to outline the new rates for the commodity in different regions of Nigeria. For the southwest, northwest, northeast, and south-south, it outlined the new PMS pump price per litre in these regions to be 179 naira, 184 naira, 189 naira, and 179 naira respectively. The new prices of the commodity per litre in the north central, southeast, Abuja, and Lagos were put at 179 naira, 184 naira, 174 naira, and 169 naira respectively. The ruling All Progressives Congress is set for the official unveiling of Senator Kashim Shettima as APC vice presidential candidate to Bola Ahmed Tinubu today. The Deputy Speaker, Nigeria's House of Representatives Honorable Ahmed Idris Wase, and other reps paid a congratulatory visit to His Excellency Kashim Shettima, the vice presidential candidate of the APC at his residence in Abuja. This is coming on the heels of controversies surrounding the ruling party's choice of a Muslim ticket. You are watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Still ahead, international tidbits. Sri Lanka MPs have elected Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the country's new president. Despite his unpopularity with the public, Mr. Wickremesinghe faces the task of leading the country out of its economic collapse and restoring public order after months of mass protest. He roundly defeated party rival Dallas Alhambaruma with 134 votes to 82 in the parliamentary vote on Wednesday. Sri Lanka's ex-president Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country last week. He bolted to the Maldives and then Singapore after thousands of protesters stormed his presidential residence and other government buildings, calling for his resignation. They had also called for Mr. Wickremesinghe's resignation, who was appointed prime minister in May. Protesters burnt down his private home and also stormed his prime ministerial office in Colombo in demonstrations against his leadership. Sri Lanka is effectively bankrupt and facing acute shortages of food, fuel, and other basic supplies. Tory MPs are to vote for the last time to decide which two leadership candidates should go through the runoff vote among party members. Only Rishi Sunak, Penny Mandot, and Liz Truss remain in the race after Kemi Badenoch was eliminated on Tuesday. Mr. Sunak is still the fourth runner with his Mandot and Ms. Truss vying for the second spot in the final round. Conservative Party members will vote over the summer, with a result to be announced on 5 September. Tuesday's vote saw Mr. Sunak gain the support of 3 MPs to bring his total to 118, just short of the 120 he needs to qualify for the runoff. Fire crews have worked through the night damping down wildfires which broke out following Tuesday's record-breaking temperatures in the UK. In Wellington, East London, around 100 firefighters tackled a blaze which began in grassland before spreading to nearby homes. Several brigades declared major incidents due to the number of 999 calls they were receiving. Tuesday saw a record temperature of 40.3 Celsius in Conisbee, Lincolnshire. 33 other locations saw highs that surpassed the previous record of 38.7 Celsius. Temperatures are lower on Wednesday, but the Met Office has issued a yellow warning for heavy showers and thunderstorms which could bring disruption in eastern and southeast England this afternoon. You are still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next, entertainment and sport stories. Napoli sporting director Cristiano Giottoli has informed Bayern Munich and Victor Osimhen's other suitors to pay 130 million euros for the Nigerian striker or forget about him. The club's president, Aurelio De Laurentiis, had in June said that only a payment of 100 million euros would see Osimhen leave the club. The Nigerian international has been linked with several top clubs following his outstanding performance for the Pantanope last season, where he scored 18 goals with 6 assists in 32 competitive games. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Newcastle United are some of the Premier League clubs linked with the 23-year-old. Bayern have, however, taken the front seat in the chase for the former Lille striker, following the departure of striker Robert Lewandowski, who has joined Spanish giants Barcelona. The Polish departure from the Allianz Arena means the Bavarians are in the market for a forward, leading to speculations that Osimhen could be joining the German outfit just 2 years after joining Napoli from Lille for a record club fee of 81 million euros with add-ons. Not until the next edition of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the Super Falcons will not be able to claim their 10th title after suffering defeat to host Morocco in the semi-final of the competition on Monday. 9 Roman Falcons suffered an excruciating 5-4 penalties defeat to the Atlas Lionesses after a 1-1 deadlock of the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium packed with 42,500 fans in Rabat, Morocco. The Falcons were reduced to 9 women after Alimati Hayinde and Rashidat Ajibade were both sent off in the second half following clumsy tackles, forcing the 9-time champions to play for over 70 minutes short of 2 players. Barcelona manager Xavi Hernandez has been denied entry into the United States for the second time. This means he will not take charge of their first preseason match against Inter Miami. Xavi traveled to Barcelona's airport with the rest of the squad on Saturday, but was not able to board the flight to the U.S. because of his previous visits to Iran. That prompted the La Liga club to arrange for Xavi to jet out to join the squad on Tuesday, but he has not still been given the green light to travel. Xavi was in Iran 3 times in the last 5 years due to his former association with Qatari club Al Sadd, both as a player and coach. Due to Iran's international relations with the United States, he was requested to provide additional documentation to justify his visits to the Middle Eastern nation. Xavi has now missed at least 4 days of pre-season training with his players. His brother Oscar Hernandez will be in charge when they face the MLS opponents, while the boss will be hopeful that his documentation is sorted in time to face Real Madrid in Las Vegas 4 days later. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Moses Ben. You can follow us on our social media platforms: Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.